Hey, Carl.
Hey, Jeremy, how are you?
Not bad. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are your travels?
Oh, yeah, they were good. Um, yeah, Arizona, I think was first, and then Florida. Yeah, it was a long couple weeks.
Yeah, you bet.
It
It's
was,
like,
I think it was like over a course of 15 days, I slept in my bed once, and yeah. But Arizona was good. I love it out there. I'm a desert rat for sure. I truly enjoy the mystery of the desert and the beauty of it. And then I mean, Florida was, I would say, I'm glad I went. Did I was anything riveting? Probably not. But it was good to get re-inspired and kind of learn some things and always take some nuggets out. So
well,
just
if you,
it's a lot of work and a lot of travel, and it just I don't know. I go back and forth about it, but
if you got even a couple of nuggets out of it, Jeremy, it's probably worthwhile.
yeah, exactly. And like it's like able to meet with some of our POS providers, and there was some really good information that we got out of that because they changed companies, and so it was little things like that that actually does matter that I kind of take for granted, but
Yeah,
it's just a lot of work.
yeah, and a lot of travel. Geez, that's a
Yeah.
long time.
I remember Thursday I got there. It was essentially, I just remember getting back to the hotel at 10 p.m. and I'm just going, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I had a conference until I think it was from, I can't remember, 5 to 9:30 or something. Then I ended up walking back and I was so tired.
Jeez.
Anyway, hi Kendra.
Hi.
Hey Tom.
Hi, guys.
Mark, we have a quorum. Wow, that's cool.
Kendra, you look like you were all walking.
I was, and now I'm cold. So I got sick and still have my hat on.
Man, you got the hat on, you got the
I think I
coffee or
dressed because it was so sunny and nice. I was like, it's not cold. And I was like, it's colder than I thought.
Okay, we have everybody here. Kelsey is not going to make it tonight, and then nor is Brad. So.
And Jeremy, I have to hop off for a public works committee around 6:30. So
I'm not
Maybe this-
running the meeting.
Maybe this will be a
tonight.
29-minute meeting.
It's very possible because I'm not doing it. I had an implant put in 2 hours.
oh no.
Oh.
No, it doesn't hurt so much, but everything is, I'm going to dribble.
Well, we could keep it fast and efficient. That's for sure. There's really just not a whole lot. But Tom, if you want to call it to order, and we'll get going.
well,
Call this
Thomas
to order and pass the baton to Carl.
so Tom has asked me to lead the meeting tonight, so I am honored to do so. And let's call the meeting to order. And the first question, as always, is there anybody from the public that has joined us tonight?
It appears we do have someone interested.
Speaking. Oops.
Robert, not.
Okay, I just lost all of you for a minute there.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to speak. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm just here to observe this evening.
I'm, Carl, I'm going to shut up if I can. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just lost my video with everybody here, so I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Huh.
It's interesting, Carl. We can see you, but we can hear you as well. So I think that's what's really important.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to try one more time here. Oh, you're back. Okay, I can see you guys again. That's my great skills here with with Zoom. So, so Robert, you're just going to listen in, eh? Okay, very good. Well, our first order of business is to approve the meetings from our meeting back in October. So did everybody have a chance to look those over again after a while? Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes from the October meeting?
I
Moved.
will second.
Looks like it's been seconded. All those in favor?
I
Say aye. All those opposed? And it passes unanimously. Okay. So we are on now to our agenda items, and if you can lead us on this one, Jeremy, I would appreciate that about Dennis.
Yeah, so obviously very sad news about Dennis Sheridan. You know, I don't know the specifics, so I don't think it's at my liberty to speculate what exactly occurred, but we just know that he passed away. And Dennis was a part of the, you know, the Pleasant View Golf Course Advisory Committee for, what was it, Tom? Was it 1 or 2 terms? I can't quite remember.
2 terms, I think.
I think it was
2
two
terms.
terms, yeah.
And he was an avid golfer at Pleasant View Golf Course, and it's sad news. And I just thought it was appropriate that we just took a moment to remember Dennis Sheridan.
In fact, I have something I'd like, if it's okay. I don't know if we ever do, but I'd like something in the minutes to do that. Can we do that?
I think we've done that in the past for other people. Yeah.
Okay, so, and excuse me, I can send this to you later, Jeremy. PVGC Advisory Committee honors and recognizes Dr. Dennis Sheridan for his several years serving on this committee. Dennis recently lost his life due to an accident while engaged in volunteer service in the community. Dr. Sheridan was a constant supporter and cheerleader for PVGC. So
Yeah,
if you're
Tom-
curious, what happened was he slipped on ice making a delivery to a shut-in. Hit his head hard on the concrete, never regained consciousness. It's so sad. I played a lot of golf with this guy. Gonna miss him.
Well, thanks for that statement, Tom. Please send it over, and I'll make sure that gets in the minutes officially. So.
Thank you, Tom. That was great. Okay, Jeremy, next topic is on the golf operation and the financial update.
Yeah, so finances, I wish I had a better update for you guys other than you already saw them. So, you know, obviously last year was a very positive year, but remember those are not audited financials. So just be aware of that. As soon as I get more details in terms of what the actual 2023 numbers look like, I'll be sure to pass it along. But I unfortunately do not have updated numbers. I don't have any audited numbers. Remember, audited probably doesn't get to us around April or May. And I think the thing that after we start seeing some final numbers, the committee should probably entertain is, do we want to pay down more of the TID and potentially expire the 2026 forecast? But I didn't put numbers in there because we don't know the numbers. So yeah, it's just something to start thinking about. You know, like, and part of the golf course operation, which is the next topic, is obviously the road construction and what that's going to look like. And it's always a worry. Do we, you know, should we be paying the advancement down, or should we wait until what we actually see occurs this year before we make those decisions? And so those are just some things that we got to think about.
So Jeremy, thanks. Just a couple of quick points. First, they just again look awesome. So just a great year.
Thanks.
Last year, awesome job by everyone there. And also, it was great news about the outings. That's about the outings that they've all been booked for for this year, and that's fabulous news.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a testament to the relationships that we have with the golf outings, right? That we do view them as relationships versus a transaction. I think it also speaks to the loyalty of our customers, and then of course our staff and the job that we do provide, even in potentially a big part in our mess situation, they still trust us for this upcoming season, which is fantastic.
Great news.
But yeah, the financials were strong, which, as you saw, once I have more, I'll send it your way. Okay, so we'll probably have a deeper conversation in March.
Okay.
But please start thinking about what your vision is for, because if you recall, you could probably go back to some of the documents that I sent, but you recall the debt plan, right? We've got the 2026. In fact, I might be able to pull it up if you guys are willing to be patient with me.
We're always patient with you, Jeremy.
I appreciate that. All right. I'll share this in just a sec, just opening it up. Yeah, this will be easier to speak to then. Okay, so I want to say these are the numbers that I plugged in off the top of my head. I think I modified it January 13th. Yep, that sounds about right. So and again, not final, so don't quote me here. But a couple things to note, right? Do we get rid of, do we add, okay, that's what I remember, that's what I did. Do we add this number, 844, to get rid of 2026? Okay. You know, normally that would be minus 450, right? Which then we would owe, where is that? We'd owe 394, right, in 2026. Okay, does that make sense of what I did there?
Yep.
Okay.
You
So let me
just shifted that over to.
Yep. So
Last
as you can see, then the last payment made to TID would be in 2025.
25.
Okay. And remember, we are paying the city in lieu of taxes starting this year, right? So we're going to pay out about 100 grand this year to the city, which they can then do, you know, hire more staff or whatever it is they choose to do. Kendra, have you heard what, do you know what they're going to do with the 100 grand?
Haven't heard. I can follow up on that though.
I'd just be curious how Pleasant View is helping the city out, right?
No, that's a really good point. I will follow up.
But anyway, but back to this, right? So just recall that that's something we got to think about. Do we want to have 2026 or do we not want to have it, right? And then, as you can see, the end of year equivalents, you can see we're very healthy, even if we did advance it.
Right.
The other thing to make note is this number here. Remember, so that's transfer from like ETC and the funds, the land that was purchased due to Pleasant View Road expansion. But remember, we're going to owe for whatever it is that Sean said. I can't remember off the top of my head. Improvements or whatever it was. I can't remember the phrase. So we are going to owe for that in the future. Where that is, I don't know, and I haven't heard the number just yet. So anyway, so that's that.
Great. Thank you, Jeremy.
Mhm.
So that kind of rolls us into the next topic, which is Pleasant View Road.
Well, so, but can I just stick on operation? Just,
sure.
I'm gonna just put this on record. So CXC and the relationship with Pleasant View Golf Course has been very, very healthy. Yuri and the CXC crew have been doing a phenomenal job. I've heard nothing but positive things. Yuri did host I don't know if it was a high school event or it was something where they put some really big strains on their parking. And there was an email sent out. I don't know if it was from a resident or who it was from. It doesn't really matter. But it was from a person that uses CXC, and they wanted to have the ability to use Pleasant View Golf Course's parking lot. The issue is, and I don't know the agreement with the city of Middleton and Yuri or CXC, but CXC is charging fees, right? And they are charging annual passes and daily passes and weekly passes to manage expenses. And I truly don't believe it's Pleasant View Golf Course's job to get in the middle of Yuri's business or CXC's business. And so if there's a parking issue, I believe it should be CXC and the relationship with the city of Middleton and what they're doing over on that property to rectify the concerns, not Pleasant View Golf Course. However, we did open up the golf course to parking for that weekend, and Yuri did pay a fee to do that, just like anybody does in an enterprise fund, and just like any golfer, as all of you pay fees to support Pleasant View Golf Course, as it's not a burden on the tax base, right? We are self-sustaining enterprise fund, and I just want to let you know that. In case there was that email that got circulated, which the gentleman did admit that maybe it was just the special event he was concerned about, which I frankly thought was the problem, right? I mean, we obviously do this on a daily basis, so we kind of understand that. But I do believe that CXC needs to remain at that location and not muddy the waters with Pleasant View Golf Course. That's my opinion. If you guys have further concerns over that, I'm happy to address them or talk about them publicly or privately, whatever it is that you. but that's just my stance. And remember, Pleasant View Golf Course does not receive any money from CXC for using the golf course and having the trails on golf course land. $0, right? Except for the rental of the parking lot, which I felt was very fair, considering I got up early on Saturday and Sunday morning, and then a staff member went at 9 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday night to lock up the facility. So, and then we plowed extra. So there was some cost associated with it. But anyway, I just wanted to just mention that so that you're aware of what's going on.
Thank you. It's interesting. I didn't know that.
Jeremy, I hadn't heard anything about it. I just kind of, do you guys do your own plowing, or does
We
the
do.
city? Yeah, okay,
No, Pleasant View Golf Course plows its own driveway, its own parking
Okay.
lot. Yeah,
that's good to know. Okay, thanks.
yeah.
Didn't know that either, Jeremy. Did not know that.
No. Now, if there's a really icy situation, right, we will call in Public Works for help if need be,
Mhm.
but it's very rare, very rare.
That's a lot to plow too.
Yeah, yep. Our staff does a great job. And again, I think that's so important that everybody understands that we literally are not a burden on the tax base, right? We pay for our own fees. We do everything ourselves. And I think that that's just important. And that's kind of why I believe that CXC needs to remain CXC. It's my opinion. So,
Do we need to take this opportunity
oh,
to
Yeah.
reassert that?
no, I
in our
don't think
board
so.
minutes?
I don't think so. It just more or less, I feel very good about it, just more or less restating the fact that this is what I still believe in. And I think that we're doing the right things. I think we're a good partner to CXC. They can use our land. I don't believe that we should be charging them to use it over the winter time, because there's really no cost associated with it, except for when we've got to rope off the greens, which that's an argument that maybe we could get into in the future. Because there is a cost for us roping off the greens, and the cost for material, the rope itself, right? And the rebar that goes around the greens, things like that. So
Well,
there
then
is
the
a
labor.
cost. What's that?
The labor.
Yeah, and the labor.
Labor's not free.
Yep. So those are some things that we could potentially take into consideration as they continue to establish themselves over there.
And I think that's an important thing to just keep reasserting as CXC starts to grow and establish itself. So I think it's a good thing to mention it and just kind of plant the seed. So
Yeah, and Kendra, you know, this committee, gosh, Kylie called me the other day. Poor Kylie, she got about 15 years of history from me in about an hour's time, and
Can only imagine.
yeah. You know, obviously, there's a history that's involved to this beyond CXC, and I do want to be clear that CXC is a great partner. Yeah, but there's certainly more to the story than just this one weekend.
Yeah.
But that's really it. That's really it. All I have. Otherwise, you know, we're still, you know, getting prepared. We're hiring. We're orders are starting to come in. I had, you know, 7 boxes of shipments come in today, and yeah, we're getting, you know, spring is almost in the air. So yeah.
That's great news, especially people, getting the right people staffed up for the spring, and that's good news. Very good news.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we move on? Okay.
Yeah.
Pleasant View Road and of course renovation. What's up?
Yeah, so PV Road, I don't know if you've driven by, but they have started taking down trees along the construction and, well, actually not the construction easement, I believe just the ATC easement. But they have started taking down some trees, so it definitely looks a little bit different. You know, we have a meeting next week. I believe that they're trying to, they being Hoffman Construction, are trying to get in a little bit earlier to start digging those stormwater ponds in between the road and number 2. So it sounds like they're trying to get in maybe end of March, early April. I'll have more information next week as we have a meeting scheduled. And then we're going to coordinate with our contractor, Golf Creations, to potentially get them in a little bit earlier. But the reality is it really doesn't matter necessarily, because it's still going to be pretty unplayable regardless, right? Because of seating and things like that. So But, if we can get some major work done in April as opposed to May, I think that's a win.
will If I
Go
may,
ahead.
really, there is a public meeting at the library next Wednesday at 5:30 to 7:30 regarding Pleasant View Road construction. I haven't seen an agenda for it yet. And I don't.
And the irony is that's the day of my meeting.
Yeah, and it's also the council. There's a council meeting that night. It was moved because of the primary voting on the day before.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen an agenda for it yet. But I can send it out to this committee if they're interested as soon as I see one or find one.
Yeah, good. Would you
I'll
please,
do-
Kendra?
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ken.
And
Yeah,
then-
I think that would be helpful. It'd be good to see.
And speaking of which, because that'd be super helpful. We also on our website under the information tab, there's like construction update. We're gonna update people. Like that's how I'm communicating with folks instead of like typing this all out a billion times. We're just gonna keep kind of an up to date as much as we know website on our golfpleasantview.com page. So it even has like the design and yeah.
Oh,
it'll be
that's
good.
cool.
Mhm.
didn't know
But that's
that
really
either.
all I have for the road itself. For the renovation, we did start tweaking hole 6 and 8, which I believe I've talked to you guys about. So yeah, we're ready. It just need the big earth movers to move in. So, and to take down that hill, I think that's the biggest one is that hill, 20 feet. Man, be a lot. Yeah.
So holes 6 and 8, you tweaked? What you tweaking?
We
on?
started taking down the trees in preparation for the renovation.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. And I got to tell you, it looks so much more playable. It's so much more fun and open and more accessible for everybody involved. Really happy that we're doing some of these things.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Same here. I won't have to play my draw anymore on 6, huh?
Your snap hook.
Yeah, thank you. That's better said. Yes. I'm
What are you
just
laughing at,
checking-
Mark?
Just chuckling to myself. Inside joke. Yeah. No
Inside
judgment.
joke or left side joke?
I was just looking
go
at some
ahead.
of the notes that you had sent to us back on, I think it was January 11th, Jeremy. And it looks like, yeah, trees were part of that you're starting. And then anything else about the course that you can start earlier?
No, I mean, no. It's tough when the snow's on the ground like it is, and
Yeah.
it's 45 degrees. It's hard.
Yeah.
So.
Although I'm loving this weather, so it's great right now.
I think that's really it
Okay,
for
Great.
TV Road.
all right. How about the driveway? Easement.
Driveway, so I think this is, you guys, you should have gotten those documents. There's nothing for us to take action on, because if you recall, technically speaking, that driveway is not necessarily just ours, right? It's shared throughout the city of Middleton back with the agreement of Erdman and Parks and the transfer of land, right? Even though we do manage the driveway and we do manage the grass parallel with on the north side of the driveway, meaning cut it, right? The city of Middleton has the right to do an easement with Northwestern Stone, and that did go through to Common Council. I'm assuming it was passed. This is just more a heads up, and we're aware of it. We've got plans in place, with the automatic gates. I think that'll be well needed. The only concern that I would have is that we just need to make sure that we keep unwanted vehicles out of the cell tower area. So I think we'll have to try to figure out a way to install a secondary gate or something like that, because we don't want any vehicles getting hidden up there and then locked in. So
So there's going to be additional traffic then on that driveway? Is that what this is all about? Or
Mark, you're just talking about service vehicles from the cell tower, which are
just say, okay. It's not going to be the stone. There's not going to be dump trucks and stuff. Okay.
No,
Okay,
just,
I got you.
just to access the cell tower. That's it.
Okay, I got you.
And if we're talking 20 trucks, you know, like utility vehicles, right?
Yeah,
Throughout the
yeah.
course of the year, that would be a lot.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and for the most part too, you know, we're open, especially in the summer, you know, the gate opens up at like 5:30 and doesn't close till 10. So I really don't foresee this being a huge deal.
Yeah, right, right.
Just more of a heads up.
Now, is there anything that has to be repaved or will have to be redone up there, Jeremy, up at that portion of the driveway?
I mean, yeah, I imagine so. They're gonna have to pave or do something, lay gravel towards the cell tower, but
Right.
it's really not our concern.
Okay.
The driveway itself, I don't know exactly how, that construction easement is very close to the road. So
Yeah.
I imagine any damages that are incurred on the driveway would be repaired accordingly. So,
Because the taking out of that big hill is going to have an impact on that with a retention wall or something that they're going to have to put up there.
yeah, there's a retention wall that's going to go in. So that would be to the east of our driveway. It's not going to drastically affect our driveway. They're putting in a little walking path there as well, if you
Right,
recall
yeah.
the drawings.
Yeah.
So, but taking down the hill, I don't foresee that being an issue other than being loud and maybe a couple rumbles. So.
Right. Okay, got it. All right, any other questions on the easement driveway? If not, we can move on to the capital reserve discussion.
I just have this on here because it's on here every time.
That's right.
It's in case we come up with an idea.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, so we're still, what I do think is, we still have everything on the docket, you know, getting a new Smithco trap rake, you know, trying to figure out what to do as far as a fairway top dresser is concerned. I think we've got some ideas. Our mechanic is absolutely phenomenal at figuring out the best way to continue best bang for the buck, we'll say, right? But that's really it. Remember, we're not doing any major purchases this year, right? We're going to seal the parking lot is the intent. And then we're doing the master plan to try to figure out what exactly Pleasant View Golf Course needs going forward as far as up near the clubhouse area.
And Jeremy, was that the master plan? Was that bringing in another to do like an updated version of the report? We talked a little bit about that.
Yes. Oh, that's a good question, Luke. So no, that would be the capital reserve study, which I think we do need to. Thank you for reminding me. That we do need to just keep tweaking, right? Because it's been, Tom, at least 5 years old.
5 years, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many years have I been chair? 1 or 2 terms.
Yeah, but I mean, that's something that we definitely need to, I think that's a little bit different, Luke. The master plan is more, and Tom got the brunt of this the other day when, you know, with Dennis's potential memorial golf outing. We do not have the space to do some of these things that people want. And that's where this pavilion idea, an outdoor pavilion, you know, keep everything outdoor, be really good at outdoor stuff, and separate some of these golf outings away from the general public so that we're not creating a negative atmosphere for both the golf outing and the public alike and league play. But then what does that all entail, right? You know, we're short on storage. And we've talked about, you know, like this is broken record, short on storage. We've got, you know, Bob Owen here who is pushing EVs, which I don't know that we've got the infrastructure for that, right? And I don't know where we're going to place 98 golf carts without putting a $2 million infrastructure in place. And so I need help to understand exactly the options before we say this is what we need to do. I genuinely need options, and I think that's the whole master plan idea.
Okay.
Because
thanks.
we are short on space, and that is the number one resource that we're missing.
All right. Well, we had sort of a list we had put together with the priorities. I think of you, Luke, when I think of that, because I know we talked about that. You had some good thoughts on it. So that's the kind of thing I think, Jeremy, that would go into the master plan, would be those sorts of ideas.
Yeah, so storage, so if you recall, the maintenance building.
Yeah.
Right, that's 2024, so that's part of it. Storage, pavilion, EV infrastructure, and then now solar. Because solar got, for some, I don't know exactly what happened, but Pleasant View Golf Course got pushed a year, and this is not a good year for us to be adding more construction. So we're going to put that in term on top of the master plan, because maybe we could use the pavilion as potential opportunity. And so I think that's just the smart thing to do. So solar is going to be on that master plan as well.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying we're going to do it. There needs to be a study done, but yeah. And I think that's all part of this plan. And I know that's the city of Middleton's initiative. And I think that's, you know, that's where this committee after 2025, we start, all right, we're clear of debt, right? We have an agreement with the city of Middleton of what we're paying in lieu of taxes. And then we need to start looking at, okay, what are ways that we can align with the city of Middleton's vision as far as sustainability and things go.
So what can we do as a committee to help with that, Jeremy?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, I appreciate it. Nothing. That's why we hire a consultant to help me.
Got it. We'll
And
just
then
throw more
provide-
ideas at you. That's all. We'll just throw more and more ideas.
Yeah. No, I mean, if I need help, I you know, I'll ask. I think that I feel good. I feel good.
Good. Well, we know you're not shy about asking, Jeremy. so
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So,
All right. That kind of covers things to the designation of our future agenda items. We're ready for that part of our agenda.
If I
Kendra?
may just request, just to add a recurring agenda item that I'll report back from the council on anything that might be of interest to the committee. Now that I have been on this long enough and understand the relationship between the two. For instance, the easement agreement that passed last week. I apologize, I did not send an email to notify you that guys that it passed in the council. So just a note on there, if I don't have anything to report, we just skip it, but if just a recurring agenda item, just to report back for anything that might be of interest to the committee. Also to know that we have started on the council reports from committees to the full council. It's a recurring agenda item on the common council agenda. It's an opportunity for aldermen to report back from the committees that they sit on. So if there's anything of interest that this committee has that they would like brought before the council, a small report, something of interest as it gets closer to the opening of the season, I will definitely point out that we are fully booked for the upcoming events at the course for the summers, which I think is great news. You know, I continue to think that the golf course is one of the shining jewels of Middleton. So I'm always happy to report back to the council the work of this committee. So
I'd like the committee to agree that the council needs to understand that we are pressed for space, because it does affect our business ability. And also that we have plans to bring things like our maintenance and storage up to a 21st century as opposed to a 19th century. You know, they don't have to know the details, but those are things we've talked about for a long time. And when they eye our revenue, I worry that they don't know that we need it too.
I've made those notes.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that without the committee knowing that we're making some of these things a little more public than we do.
Right. And I would never take a report to the council that I wouldn't approve with the committee before going. So that's why I wanted to add it as a recurring agenda item. So it'd be
Yeah, I
something
really
that
appreciate, I
back.
really like that.
Kendra, what do you want to call just a common council report?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if you need to say something, I mean, so what are you fixing to say for the next
I
meeting?
wasn't planning on saying anything at this next one, unless you want me to mention the bookings for the summer. I think anything from the golf course is more timely to come closer to the spring and the opening days. So there was nothing that I was intending to report at the next council meeting on the 22nd, 23rd. 22nd.
Yeah, I think that's,
Second.
I think that's perfect because I don't think, to be honest,
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, like, I think it's great that we're booked up, but,
But there could be questions from other alder people on the council specifically regarding Pleasant View reconstruction, if it
Mhm.
comes up, about the impact that it's having on the golf course. And I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
need to be able to answer questions as they come up.
oh, 100%. I don't disagree. And to your
Yeah.
point, which is why this could be a future thing. So yeah, and then just for the record, I don't know that I need a CXC in, like being mentioned.
Oh.
That was just more of a heads up for you guys.
Mhm.
Just to let you know that did occur, so. But I love it. I think that's great. I think it's great if you could report things that were, our vision or our goals, right?
Well, and I think it's important because unless it's brought up, a lot of people, it doesn't get noticed. you know?
I totally agree.
So-
Like the master plan,
Yeah.
hey,
Right.
we are looking into this. Yeah. Well, great. I love it.
Thanks.
So I'll keep the standards on, right? Golf operating, PV road updates, cap discussion, and then we'll add common council report. And if anything else pops up, I'll certainly add it.
Yeah, was there anything about the 1551 Pleasant View, the development across the street?
Yeah, I've heard nothing on that.
I haven't either.
Crickets.
Yeah, nothing. Okay.
Kendra, any movement?
Nothing at all that I've
That's
heard.
stunning.
Did something happen?
Yeah.
I don't, I have no idea. I don't know if they're waiting to break ground in the summer. Once it goes through committee, we don't really hear again. I
So
can
was it
follow up.
approved?
I can definitely follow up. I will follow up with Abby and see if they have a breaking ground date. I mean, this could be something that I hear more about as I learn more about the Pleasant View road construction too, which is I'm just starting to hear more about and learning more about as that starts to get rolling. So
Was that approved?
yes. Which part? The development itself at the common council level? Yes, it was.
Got it. So maybe they're just waiting to see what Pleasant View Road's doing before they break ground. Yeah.
Probably. That
And-
would make sense. Yeah.
And actually, let me pause on that. Let me get back. Can I let you know at the next meeting where we're at on that?
Yeah.
Because there were some contingencies that were still needing to be resolved. Now that I'm thinking about this, let me let you know.
I'll
I
add that
checked-
to the agenda.
Yeah, let's add it. I had a couple of notes from the last meeting, Kendra, that to that effect. There were a few
Yeah,
things that they needed to do first, and so
yeah.
yeah,
Thanks.
let's add it to the next meeting.
All
I
right.
think that would fit.
Thank you. I had forgotten about that. Thank you.
All righty, if there's nothing else to add to the agenda for next month, it looks like we're ready to adjourn. We might have hit that half hour a little bit longer though. Do I hear a
Yeah,
motion?
and
to-
I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
make a
go ahead.
motion so I can. if
Yes,
I
you can
may.
go.
Okay, yeah.
So
Motion to
I-
adjourn.
I
Perfect.
did hear a motion, okay, and a second.
Seconded,
Okay, Luke,
Who's second? Luke?
seconded, yeah.
all those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, passes unanimously.
Hey, you
Thank
know what?
you,
Actually,
everyone.
right quick, Kendra, you can take off.
Yep.
Yeah. Right quick, what, Monday the 20th? For the next meeting?
Week from today, oh, not a week. Yeah. Monday, the 20th,
Of March.
March.
Works for me.
Should work.
Works for me, Jeremy.
Let's do it. Book it. Perfect.
Look at Dana.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Appreciate the time, and we will see you, if not in person, virtually in a month or so.
I'm sure we'll see you before that, Jeremy.
Tom, I will see you Thursday.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Tom, I hope,
All right, good
I
night,
hope you feel
everybody.
better, Tom.
Good night.
It'll get better soon.
All right. Take care, guys. See ya.